Welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to share something very few people ever talk about. You might think reaching advanced English is just about learning more words or speaking faster. But no, it is not like that. There are hidden truths, silent struggles, and surprising realities that most learners never hear about. If you really want to speak English like a natural, not like a robot, you need to know these secrets. Stay with me till the end. You will see your English journey with new eyes. You will feel stronger and more ready. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Myth of Fluent Like a Native. When you start learning English, you have a dream in your heart. You want to speak like a native speaker. You imagine yourself talking fast, using perfect words, and never making mistakes. You think that one day you will sound just like people from America or England. This dream feels beautiful at the beginning. It gives you hope. It gives you energy to study. But as you move forward, something strange happens. You study more, you learn more, you practice more. But still, you make small mistakes. Still, you sometimes forget words. Still, you feel nervous when speaking, and you ask yourself, why? I have studied for years. I have practiced so much. Why am I not perfect yet? Why do I still feel like a learner? Nobody tells you this secret. Even native speakers are not perfect. Even they make grammar mistakes. Even they forget simple words. Even they start a sentence and then change their mind halfway. Even they say things like, um, you know, and like while speaking. They do not speak in beautiful, clean sentences all the time. They speak naturally, casually, and sometimes even wrongly. But they do not stop. They do not feel ashamed. They keep going. They focus on connection, not perfection. They focus on communication, not on sounding smart. When you realize this truth, it changes your heart. You feel lighter. You understand that the goal is not to speak without any mistakes. The goal is not to sound like a movie actor who reads from a script. The real goal is to speak so that people understand you, feel you, and connect with you. This is real fluency. Real fluency is when you can tell a story, share an idea, ask a question, or express your feelings without getting frozen by fear. Real fluency is when you speak and the listener feels comfortable with you. It is not about using the biggest words. It is not about having a perfect accent. It is about being real, being natural, and being confident in your own voice. Imagine two people. One speaks with very beautiful grammar but sounds stiff, nervous, and cold. The other speaks with small mistakes but sounds warm, open, and alive. Who do you want to talk to? Of course, the second person. Because language is not only about words, it is about feeling, it is about connection, it is about making the other person feel heard and understood. Many learners waste years chasing a perfect English that does not even exist. They become afraid to speak because they think, if I make one mistake, people will judge me. They think, if I do not sound like a native, people will not respect me. But this is not true. People respect honesty. People respect effort. People respect someone who tries to connect. Nobody cares if your English is not perfect. They care if you are friendly, clear, and kind. There is a very important moment in every learner's journey. It is the moment when you finally drop the heavy burden of "I must be perfect." It is the moment when you accept yourself as you are and still move forward. It is the moment when you say, "Yes, I will make mistakes, but I will still speak. I will still try. I will still connect." This is the real beginning of your advanced journey. I want you to remember one thing very clearly. Perfection is not your goal. Communication is your goal. Confidence is your goal. Connection is your goal. Every time you open your mouth to speak English, you are already winning. Every time you try, you are already growing. Every time you make a mistake and continue, you are already becoming fluent. So today, I want you to stop chasing a dream that is not real. I want you to start building a dream that is possible. A dream where you speak English naturally, easily, happily, just like you speak in your own language. A dream where you are not afraid of mistakes. A dream where you use English to make friends, share ideas, and explore the world. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to be brave. That is the real secret that nobody tells you. And now you know it. Your journey to real fluency has already started. And it is more beautiful than you ever imagined. Chapter 2: Vocabulary Explosion and Why It Gets Harder. When you first start learning English, every new word feels exciting. You learn words like apple, beautiful, school, and you feel proud. Every small word you learn becomes a building block. You feel yourself growing. You feel yourself moving forward. You imagine that one day you will know all the words you need, and speaking English will be easy. But as you move forward, something surprising happens. Instead of feeling easier, English begins to feel bigger and bigger. You open a book or watch a movie, and you find so many new words you have never seen before. You listen to people talking, and they use expressions that you do not understand. You realize that English is not just about 500 words or 1,000 words. It is a world of thousands and thousands of words, phrases, and expressions. And for a moment, your heart feels heavy. You feel like you are standing in front of a mountain that has no end. Nobody tells you this at the beginning. Nobody tells you that the more you learn, the more you will discover how much you still don't know. This is called the vocabulary explosion. In the beginning, you can learn quickly because the words are basic and common. But at an advanced level, you enter the real world of English. A world full of idioms, phrasal verbs, slang, academic words, business words, emotional words, funny words, and serious words. It feels like English is not one language, but many different languages mixed together. And this feeling can scare many learners. They start asking themselves, will I ever finish learning? Will I ever know enough words to speak like a native? And this fear can make them feel stuck. Some people even give up because they feel like they are running a race with no finish line. But I want you to know something very important. You do not need to know every word in English. Even native speakers do not know every word. Even university professors sometimes find new words they have never seen before. You do not need to memorize a giant dictionary to be fluent. What you need is something simpler, something more powerful. You need to know the words that fit your life, the words that you use every day, the words that help you talk about your work, your family, your hobbies, your dreams. These are the words that build your real fluency. Imagine you are building a house. You do not need every brick in the world. You need the right bricks to build your home. In the same way, you do not need every English word. You need the right English words for your journey. And with time, naturally, your house will grow bigger. Naturally, you will find new bricks and add them where they fit. Vocabulary is not something you have to force. It is something you collect little by little, day by day, through real life, real conversations, and real experiences. There is a beautiful moment that every learner experiences when they understand this. It is the moment when they stop feeling afraid of big words. It is the moment when they realize that learning English is not a race. It is a journey. It is a daily relationship. It is a small walk every day, not a mad run to some imaginary finish line. When you relax and enjoy the walk, you naturally start picking up new words without pressure. A new word from a song, a new phrase from a YouTube video, a funny expression from a friend. And all these little pieces slowly become part of you. Another truth that nobody tells you is that the best way to grow your vocabulary at an advanced level is not by memorizing lists. It is by living with English, watching movies, listening to real conversations, reading books you enjoy, writing your thoughts in English, speaking freely without worrying too much about mistakes. When you use English to live your life, new words come naturally. And because they come naturally, you remember them longer. So if you ever feel overwhelmed by the number of words you do not know, remember this: you do not have to know everything. You only have to know what matters to you right now. You only have to keep moving, one word, one phrase, one sentence at a time. Trust the journey. Trust yourself. Your vocabulary will keep growing, just like a tree growing new leaves every season. You may not see it every day, but the growth is happening inside you. Stay patient. Stay curious. Stay in love with the language. The vocabulary explosion is not a sign that you are failing. It is a sign that you are reaching higher. It is a sign that your English world is expanding. It is a beautiful thing, and you are ready for it. Chapter 3. Listening becomes a puzzle. When you start learning English, listening feels simple. You listen to slow recordings. You listen to your teacher. You hear every word clearly. You understand the sentences because they are spoken slowly and carefully. You feel confident. You think, one day I will understand everything easily. But when you reach a higher level, you face a new world. You try to watch a real movie without subtitles. You listen to two native speakers talking fast. You join a real conversation with real people, and suddenly English sounds like a big, confusing river. Words crash into each other. Sentences start, but do not finish. People use slang, jokes, and strange expressions you have never heard before. You know many words, but your brain cannot catch them in time, and you feel lost. You feel like all your learning was not enough. Nobody tells you about this. Nobody prepares you for the moment when your ears feel full and tired, when you can hear the sounds but you cannot understand the meaning. This is a real stage that every serious learner faces. It is not because you are weak. It is not because you are bad at English. It is because real-life English is different from classroom English. In real life, people do not speak perfectly. They speak fast. They use shortcuts. They skip words and they change their tone. They say things like gonna instead of going to, lemme instead of let me, and what's up instead of what is up. They laugh in the middle of a sentence. They speak half a thought and expect you to understand the rest. And your brain, which learned English in clean, slow lessons, feels confused. At this moment, many learners feel frustrated. They think, I know the words. Why can't I understand? Some learners even lose hope and stop trying to listen to real English. But the truth is, this stage is a gift. It is a sign that you are growing. Your ears are waking up. Your brain is being challenged to think faster. It is not a problem. It is a new beginning. Imagine you are building a puzzle. At first, the pieces look strange and confusing, but as you keep trying, you start to see patterns. You start to see connections. You start to understand where each piece fits. Listening to real English is the same. In the beginning, everything feels messy, but the more you listen, the more your brain learns to catch sounds, guess meanings, and fill in the missing pieces. Slowly, the puzzle starts to make sense. There is a beautiful moment that happens when you stick with it. One day you are watching a movie, and suddenly you understand a full conversation without subtitles. One day, you hear someone on the street talking fast, and you catch every word. One day, you laugh at a joke in English without needing a translation. That moment feels like magic. It feels like a door opening inside your mind. It feels like freedom. But to reach that moment, you must keep listening. Even when it feels hard, you must listen without stopping. Listen without translating every word. Listen for the feeling, the emotion, the idea, not just the exact words. Your brain is smarter than you think. It can understand a lot without knowing every single word. Trust it. Give it time. Let it grow naturally. Another important secret is this. Do not only listen to English lessons. Listen to real English. Listen to YouTube videos, podcasts, songs, interviews, movies, and even normal conversations between friends. Real English will teach you real rhythm, real sounds, real life. Lessons are good for building the foundation, but real listening builds the real house. Also, do not be afraid to listen to the same thing again and again. Repetition is a powerful tool. Every time you listen, your brain catches something new. Maybe the first time you understand 30%, the second time 50%, the third time 70%, and slowly, without you even noticing, you become better. You become faster. You become natural. If you are struggling with listening right now, I want you to know you are not alone. Every advanced learner has walked through this storm. Every fluent speaker has felt lost at some point. Feeling confused is not the end. It is the bridge to the next level. Keep walking. Keep listening. Keep trusting yourself. The puzzle will become clear. The river will become calm. And one day, you will not just hear English. You will feel it. Your ears are learning a new music, a new dance, a new world. And every second you spend listening brings you closer to real fluency. Do not give up. You are much closer than you think. Chapter 4. Speaking Naturally. The Invisible Struggle. When you think about speaking English, you often imagine using perfect grammar, choosing the best words, and speaking clearly without mistakes. At the beginner and intermediate levels, this is what you work on. You learn grammar rules. You learn new vocabulary. You practice making correct sentences. And you believe that once you know enough rules and words, your speaking will sound natural. But when you reach an advanced level, you discover something surprising. Speaking naturally is not about speaking perfectly. It is not about using big words or complicated sentences. It is about something much softer, much deeper, and much more invisible. It is about rhythm, tone, speed, pauses, fillers, emotions, and real-life flow. And nobody tells you about this hidden world at the start of your journey. In real conversations, native speakers do not talk like grammar books. They connect their words. They eat some sounds. They change their tone up and down like a song. They use fillers like you know, like, and I mean to keep the conversation flowing. They sometimes start a sentence but do not finish it because the listener already understands. They do not always speak in complete sentences. They speak in feelings, in reactions, in fast little pieces. And if you try to speak with perfect grammar in real conversations, you may sound strange. You may sound like you are reading from a textbook. You may sound too slow or too stiff. People may understand you, but it may feel like there is a wall between you and them. And you wonder, I studied hard. I speak correctly. Why does it still feel unnatural? This is the invisible struggle that many advanced learners face. The problem is not your English knowledge. The problem is your speaking flow. Real English is not about perfection. It is about connection. It is about sounding alive, sounding human, sounding easy. It is about feeling the rhythm of the language and moving with it, not fighting against it. And this is something you cannot fully learn from grammar books. You can only learn it from experience, from listening deeply, from copying real conversations, from living the language day by day. There is a very powerful moment that happens when you understand this. It is the moment when you stop worrying about every small grammar mistake. It is the moment when you allow yourself to use fillers naturally. It is the moment when you start linking your words without thinking too much. It is the moment when you realize that sounding natural is more important than sounding perfect. And this moment changes everything. You start speaking with more emotion, more freedom, more confidence. People start feeling closer to you. Conversations become smoother, easier, more real. Imagine two people. One speaks slow, careful, perfect English, but with no feeling. The other speaks a little messy, with small mistakes, but full of life and energy. Which one would you rather listen to? Of course, the second one. Because language is not only about words, it is about feelings, it is about connection, it is about sharing yourself with others. If you want to speak English naturally, you must allow yourself to be imperfect. You must allow yourself to use real English, not just classroom English. You must practice linking your words, like gonna instead of going to, wanna instead of want to, lemme instead of let me. You must practice using fillers to keep your speech flowing. When you are thinking, you must practice using your voice like music. Going up, going down, being soft, being strong. All of this is part of natural speaking. One great way to practice is by shadowing. Shadowing means listening to real English and repeating it immediately. Copying not just the words, but the tone, the speed, the rhythm. It is like singing along with your favorite song. You do not worry about understanding every word. You just copy the sound, the feeling, the music of English. Day by day, your speaking becomes more and more natural. Also, do not be afraid to practice thinking in English, not just speaking. Talk to yourself. Describe what you are doing. Make small comments in your mind in English. The more you live inside English, the more naturally it will come out of your mouth. Remember, speaking naturally is not something you achieve overnight. It is a gentle change that happens over time with love, patience, and daily practice. It is a dance you learn step by step. Some days you will feel clumsy. Some days you will feel smooth. Both are okay. What matters is that you keep moving, keep dancing, keep enjoying the music of English. You do not have to sound like a robot. You do not have to sound like a perfect grammar machine. You have to sound like a real human, alive in English. That is true fluency. That is true beauty. And you are already on your way there. Chapter 5. The Silent Battle. Thinking in English. When you begin learning English, you use your native language as a bridge. You think of something in your language, you translate it into English, and then you speak. At the beginner level, this is normal. At the intermediate level, it still happens, but faster. But when you reach an advanced level, this old habit becomes a silent battle inside you. You want to speak quickly and naturally. You want to express your feelings without stopping to search for the right words, but your mind keeps translating. It keeps jumping back to your first language and then back to English. And this process makes your speaking slow, tiring, and sometimes even confusing. You feel like you know the words, you know the grammar, you know the ideas, but somehow the words do not come out fast enough. You hesitate, you stop, you feel frustrated, you wonder, why can't I just think in English already? Nobody tells you that thinking in English is not just a skill, it is a whole new habit. It is a new way of living inside a new language. And building this habit is not easy. It takes daily practice. It takes patience. It takes a deep shift inside your brain. Your brain is like a river. For years, the water has flowed in the same direction, your native language. Now you are trying to change the river's path. You are trying to make the water flow a new way, into English. And this change does not happen by force. It happens by gentle daily guidance. One big mistake that many learners make is thinking that if they just study more grammar and more vocabulary, they will automatically start thinking in English. But it doesn't work that way. Thinking in English is not about what you know. It is about what you use. It is about building small daily habits where English becomes part of your natural thinking, not something you translate. It starts with small steps, simple sentences in your mind. I am hungry. The sun is bright. I need to buy milk. You do not wait until you are speaking to others. You practice speaking to yourself inside your head all day long. You practice seeing the world through English words. There is a beautiful moment that happens when you stay consistent. One day, without planning it, you wake up and realize you are thinking about your day in English. You are planning your grocery list in English. You are talking to yourself about your feelings in English. And in that moment, you feel free. You feel like you are not carrying the heavy bag of translation anymore. You feel light. You feel fast. You feel like English is not just something you are learning, it is something you are living. Another secret to thinking in English is not being afraid of simple language. Many learners believe that thinking in English means thinking in big, complicated sentences. But that is not true. Even native speakers think in very simple language most of the time. I am tired. I have to call mom. What should I eat? Simple thoughts, clear feelings. If you try to force complicated thinking too early, you will get tired and give up. Start simple. Start with small, honest sentences. Build a strong foundation, and naturally, over time, your thoughts will grow longer, deeper, and richer. Also, accept that at the beginning, your thinking in English will not be perfect. You will forget words. You will use the wrong words sometimes. You will speak to yourself in funny, broken English. That is okay. That is part of the process. Nobody is listening. Nobody is judging. It is your private practice ground. It is your secret training. Every broken sentence you think is a brick in the strong house you are building inside your mind. If you want a simple exercise to practice thinking in English, here it is. Every morning when you wake up, spend 5 minutes thinking about your day in English. What will you do? Where will you go? What do you feel? Even just 5 minutes a day will start to change the river inside your brain. And during the day, whenever you see something, a tree, a dog, a coffee shop, name it in English. Make a small comment in your mind. Keep the English river flowing. The silent battle of thinking in English is not easy. It is one of the biggest challenges you will face at the advanced level, but it is also one of the most beautiful victories. Because once you start thinking in English, everything becomes easier. Speaking becomes faster. Writing becomes smoother. Listening becomes more natural. Reading becomes more enjoyable. English stops being a second language. It starts becoming your second home. Stay patient. Stay gentle with yourself. Keep practicing quietly every day. The silent battle will slowly become your silent power. And one day, you will realize you have crossed a bridge that very few learners ever cross. And you will feel proud, because you earned it, and it will be yours forever. Chapter 6. Fear of mistakes never fully leaves. When you begin learning English, you're afraid of making mistakes. You're afraid that people will laugh at you. You are afraid that you will sound foolish. You are afraid that you will not find the right words. And you tell yourself, when I become advanced, all this fear will disappear. You believe that when you learn more vocabulary, when you master more grammar, when you speak faster, you will never feel nervous again. You believe that one day you will speak English with complete confidence without a drop of fear. But the truth is different. The truth is something nobody tells you. Even at the advanced level, even after years of practice, even when you are fluent, the fear of making mistakes never fully leaves. It becomes smaller, it becomes quieter, but it still lives inside your heart. At the beginner level, fear is loud. It stops you from speaking. It fills your mind with doubts. It makes you silent when you want to talk. At the advanced level, fear changes its shape. It does not stop you anymore, but it whispers. It whispers before a presentation. It whispers before an important conversation. It whispers when you meet new people. It says, "What if I make a mistake? What if they do not understand me? What if I forget a word?" And even though you have spoken English 1,000 times before, you still feel a little nervous. You still feel a small shaking inside you, and you think, why? I thought I was past this. I thought I was free. Nobody tells you that feeling fear is human. It is not a sign that you are a bad learner. It is not a sign that you are weak. It is a sign that you care. You care about expressing yourself well. You care about connecting with people. You care about being understood. That small fear shows that you respect the language and the people you are speaking to. And that is not a weakness. That is a strength. There is a beautiful moment that happens when you stop fighting fear. It is the moment when you accept it as a part of the journey. You do not wait for fear to disappear. You carry it with you and keep speaking anyway. You allow yourself to feel a little nervous and still open your mouth. You allow yourself to make small mistakes and still continue the conversation. You understand that confidence is not the absence of fear. Confidence is the decision to act even when fear is present. Imagine a singer who steps onto a big stage. Her heart is beating fast. Her hands are cold. She feels a little scared, but she sings anyway. Imagine a teacher who stands in front of a classroom. His stomach is tight. His voice shakes a little at first, but he teaches anyway. You are the same. You are a speaker. You are a communicator. You are brave every time you speak English, even if your heart beats faster. One important thing to remember is that native speakers also make mistakes. They forget words. They say the wrong thing sometimes. They correct themselves in the middle of a sentence. They laugh at their own silly mistakes. But they do not stop speaking. They do not feel ashamed. They know that mistakes are a normal part of communication, and you must learn to think like them. A mistake is not the end of the world. It is just a small bump on the road. Another beautiful thing happens when you allow yourself to make mistakes. people feel more comfortable with you. When you are relaxed, they are relaxed. When you laugh at your small mistakes, they laugh with you, not at you. When you speak with joy and freedom, people connect with you more deeply. They see your heart, not your grammar. They feel your emotions, not your errors. And that is what real communication is about. If you want to practice living with fear, start with small challenges. Speak English with a friend even when you feel nervous. Join a group discussion even if your heart beats fast. Record yourself speaking and listen without judging. Every small act of courage builds a bigger, stronger you. Every brave moment becomes a new brick in the house of your confidence. So if you still feel fear sometimes, even after years of learning, do not be surprised. Do not feel bad. Feel proud. Feel proud that you are brave enough to keep going. Feel proud that you are growing stronger every day. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is your quiet companion, walking beside you as you cross the bridge to real fluency. Keep speaking. Keep smiling. Keep moving forward. The fear may stay, but it will become smaller, softer, and it will never be stronger than your courage. Chapter 7. Plateaus are real, and they are long. When you first start learning English, every little step feels exciting. You learn 5 new words, and you feel it. You finish a grammar lesson, and you see your progress. You speak your first full sentence, and you feel like a hero. Growth feels fast. Growth feels clear. Every day, you are moving forward. But when you reach the higher levels, something strange happens. You are still studying. You are still practicing. You are still trying. But you stop feeling the progress. Days pass, weeks pass, even months pass, and you feel like nothing is changing. Your English is not getting worse, but it is also not getting much better. It feels like you are stuck in one place. This stage is called a plateau, and nobody tells you how real it is. Nobody tells you how long it can last. Nobody tells you how strong you must be to walk through it. A plateau is not the end of learning. A plateau is a silent part of growth. Imagine a tree growing. In the first few weeks, you can see new leaves every day. It grows fast. It feels alive. But after some months, you stop seeing big changes. Does that mean the tree has stopped growing? No. Deep inside, under the soil, the roots are growing stronger. The tree is preparing for the next big season. Your English journey is just like that tree. On the surface, you may not see big changes, but deep inside, you are growing stronger, more stable, more natural. Many learners get scared during the plateau. They think, maybe I have reached my limit. Maybe I will never get better. Some learners even quit at this stage. They feel bored. They feel tired. They feel invisible. But the truth is, this stage is where real champions are made. This is where you prove your love for the language. This is where you show your real strength, not by making fast progress, but by staying steady even when it feels slow. Not by shouting to the world, but by whispering to yourself, I will not give up. There is a powerful moment that comes when you survive the plateau. One day, after many silent days, you speak English more freely than before. You understand a complicated movie without even thinking. You write an email without stopping to check every word. And you realize that, without noticing it, you have moved forward. The progress was happening inside you all along. You just could not see it every day. The secret to surviving the plateau is to keep touching English every day, even if only for a few minutes. Watch something small in English. Read one short article. Listen to one song. Speak one paragraph to yourself. Write one small thought in your notebook. Every small touch keeps the fire alive. Every small action keeps you connected to the language. You do not have to fight the plateau. You just have to keep walking slowly through it, day by day, step by step. Another important secret is to find joy again. When learning feels boring, bring fun back into your practice. Watch funny videos. Read stories you love. Talk about silly things. Play with the language like a child plays with toys. Remember why you started learning English. Remember the dreams you had. Dreams of travel, dreams of friendship, dreams of new opportunities. Let those dreams pull you forward when progress feels invisible. Also, do not measure your success only by how many new words you learn or how many grammar rules you remember. Measure your success by how you feel. Do you feel more comfortable? Do you feel less afraid? Do you enjoy English more than before? These are signs of deep growth that no textbook can show you. If you feel like you are stuck right now, I want you to know something very important. You are not stuck. You are growing quietly. You are preparing for your next big jump. Stay patient. Stay loyal to your dream. Stay kind to yourself. Progress is not always loud. Sometimes it is silent, slow, and hidden. But it is real, and it is happening inside you. The plateau is not a wall. It is a long, quiet road. And every step you take on this road brings you closer to true fluency. Walk with faith. Walk with courage. Walk with love. Your English journey is still alive, and the best is yet to come. Chapter 8. Real Learning Starts. Outside the textbook. When you first start learning English, your world is full of textbooks. You sit in classrooms, you open grammar books, you complete exercises, you memorize vocabulary lists. And at the beginning, this feels right. It feels organized. It feels safe. You think that if you just finish enough books, you will become fluent. You think that if you just follow the rules carefully, you will be ready for real conversations. But when you reach a higher level, you begin to feel something different. You realize that real English, the English people speak on the streets, in movies, in songs, in real life, is not found inside the textbook. You realize that the words you need the most are often missing from your lessons. You realize that life, not books, is the real teacher. And nobody tells you this at the start. Inside the classroom, English is clean, slow, and correct. Outside the classroom, English is messy, fast, emotional, and full of surprises. In books, conversations are polite and perfect. In real life, Conversations are full of jokes, slang, unfinished sentences, and feelings. In exercises, you always know the topic. In real life, topics jump from one thing to another without warning. In lessons, you study to pass a test. In life, you speak to connect, to laugh, to cry, to dream. And this shift from textbook English to real English is a big moment in every learner's journey. Many learners feel scared when they first face real English. They think, why is it so different? Why is it so fast? Why can't I understand? They think something is wrong with them, but nothing is wrong. It is just that life is a better, bigger, wilder teacher than any book can ever be. Textbooks are useful at the beginning. They give you tools. They give you a map. But they cannot give you the real journey. The real journey happens when you leave the safe classroom and step into the living world of English. There is a beautiful moment that happens when you trust this process. It is the moment when you stop studying English only for tests. You start living English. You watch a funny YouTube video and learn a new slang word. You listen to a song and feel the meaning of a phrase deep in your heart. You watch a TV show and catch the small jokes people make with each other. You talk to a friend and forget you are practicing English. You are just living. And that is where true fluency is born. Real learning happens when you use English to live your real life. When you laugh in English, when you cry in English, when you dream in English, when you get surprised in English, when you get angry in English, when English stops being just a subject and becomes a part of your emotions, your stories, your dreams. One way to start this journey is to change how you spend your time. Instead of doing 5 grammar exercises a day, spend 1 hour watching a show you love in English. Instead of memorizing a list of 100 words you never use, read a book or listen to a podcast about a topic you truly enjoy. Instead of worrying about every small mistake, focus on understanding the feeling behind the conversation. Learning English is not just about filling your head with information. It is about filling your heart with connection. Also, accept that real learning is messy. You will hear words you don't know. You will make mistakes. You will misunderstand sometimes. But this is not a failure. This is real life. And real life is the best classroom you will ever have. Every movie you watch, every conversation you join, every story you hear, every joke you laugh at, they are all lessons. They are all pieces of your English puzzle. If you are afraid of making mistakes outside the textbook, remember this. Mistakes are not walls. They are doors. Every mistake you make opens a new door to deeper understanding. Every confusion you face is a step closer to real fluency. The people who grow fast are not the people who stay perfect. They are the people who stay brave. So today, I invite you to step outside the textbook. Step into real English. Watch, listen, read, speak, live. Do not wait for permission. Life is inviting you to join the real conversation, and your English will grow bigger, stronger, and more beautiful than you ever imagined. You have already learned enough rules. Now it is time to live the language. Your real English life is waiting for you. Take the first step and never look back. Chapter 9. English becomes your second personality. When you start learning English, it feels like you are just adding something new to your life, like you are learning a tool, like you are picking up a skill. You think English will stay outside of you, like a book you can open and close whenever you want. But the deeper you go, the more you realize something surprising. English is not just something you use. It slowly becomes a part of who you are. It grows inside you, not only in your mind, but also in your heart. It touches the way you think, the way you feel, even the way you see the world. And one day you find yourself having two personalities, one in your native language and one in English. It feels strange at first. It feels like meeting a new version of yourself. But it is also beautiful. It is also magical. It is a transformation that no textbook can teach, but every brave learner will experience. In your native language, you feel natural. You feel full of history, culture, and memories. You know all the little jokes, all the deep emotions, all the hidden meanings. But when you speak English, something different happens. You express yourself a little differently. Maybe you are more direct. Maybe you are more playful. Maybe you find it easier to say things you cannot easily say in your own language. You start thinking about ideas in new ways. You start feeling emotions with new colors. It is still you, but it is a new side of you. A side that grew from your courage to open your mind to a new world. Nobody tells you that language is not just about communication. It is about identity. When you live inside two languages, you live inside two worlds. You understand jokes that only make sense in English. You enjoy music that touches your heart in English words. You dream dreams that happen in English. You create new memories, new friendships, new emotions, all inside this second language. And slowly, you realize you're not just translating yourself anymore. You are becoming someone new, not losing yourself, but expanding yourself. There is a very powerful moment that comes when you feel this change. One day, you are talking with a friend in English, and you say something you would never say in your first language. Not because you could not translate it, but because the feeling, the way of thinking, only exists in English. And you realize that English has given you not just new words, but new thoughts, new feelings, new ways to be alive. It is like finding a second home for your soul. Many learners feel shy about this change at first. They think, am I pretending? Am I losing my real self? But no, you are not pretending. You are growing. You are discovering how big your heart can be. You are learning that a human being can hold two languages, two cultures, two ways of being, and still stay true to themselves. In fact, you are becoming richer, deeper, stronger. To make this second personality grow, you must live in English as much as you can. Not just study it, but live it. Laugh in English. Cry in English. Get angry in English. Fall in love with stories, songs, jokes, ideas in English. Every emotion you feel in English makes your second personality stronger. Every experience you live in English makes your second world more real. You do not have to choose between your first self and your second self. They are both you. They are both beautiful. They both have a place in your heart. When you are in your native language, you walk in one garden. When you are in English, you walk in another garden. And both gardens belong to you. Both gardens make your life more colorful, more alive. So, if you sometimes feel different when you speak English, if you feel a little braver, a little freer, a little more open, do not be afraid. Celebrate it. Welcome it. You have done something that many people only dream of. You have built a second home inside yourself. You have planted a second garden. You have created a second life full of new colors, new music, new dreams. Your English is not just words. It is a living part of you now. And it will grow with you, change with you, and travel with you wherever you go. You are not just a language learner. You are a creator of worlds. You are a traveler between hearts. You are a builder of bridges between people, between cultures, between dreams. And this is the most beautiful reward of all. If today's video opened your eyes and touched your heart, don't stop here. Your journey is just beginning. Every word you speak, every step you take is part of your beautiful story. Keep moving forward even when it feels slow. Keep believing in yourself even when it feels hard. You are stronger than you think. You are closer than you know. If this video helped you, please hit the like button. Subscribe to this channel for more simple and powerful lessons made just for you. And tell me in the comments what part of today's video touched you the most. Your voice matters. Your story matters. Let's keep growing together, one sentence at a time. Thank you for being here. See you in the next video.